side.
Okay, this might get some serious controversy, since the next character is considered to be one of the most controversial anti-heroes out there. And I got a really big rant about this character from certain colleague of mine. Number 8 is Kratos. Like I stated before, Kratos does everything that Travis does, only better. Just think about it for a second. His motives for killing, good reasons. His more depressing character, way more than Travis. Arsenal, larger and more brutal. Luck with women? Oh come on, even Kratos has better luck with women and he's not even trying! And Kratos faces way more epic bosses than Travis and he kills some of them better. But the biggest reason why Kratos is higher than Travis is because of all the rage I can take away by playing God of War games. I mean, come on, how many rejected persons want to destroy those who oppose them? Playing God of War games helps you to get over all the pain those coward bullies gave to you. At least for me anyways. And Depolaristor says that I like him as an tool, not as character.
Objection!
Speak up, the devil. Time for another rant.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to differ with you, nifinland, as in your comparison with Kratos and Travis Touchdown, though I'm not fond of either of the characters, you've made quite a few logical fallacies. First of all, while it is true that Travis Touchdown at first his prime motivation for killing was getting laid, throughout the story he goes through character development where he first becomes desensitized to the killing, then eventually wakes up about it after the battle with Margaret Moonlight and sees that killing is wrong and evolves so that he wants to stop this cycle of cyclist killing. This is what is called character development. Now, Kratos, on the other hand, his desire for revenge might be somewhat understandable. However, it is not helped that he goes about it in a very juvenile sense of way, and we feel more, and I don't really feel sorry for him so much as I think of how pathetic he is, like an immature child having a tantrum. Second of all, while it's true that Kratos might be stronger than Travis Touchdown, and his boss battles could be argued to be more epic, which, you know, epic is a subjective word, these are two very different games. No More Heroes is more about a guy rising in power and strength, while Kratos is a guy that has all the power and strength a mortal can have in a world, but still feels happy and not helpful. Not to mention the boss battles in No More Heroes, since you're battling other assassins, are more about battles of equals in skill, while Kratos' battles are more of a testament to his superhuman lineage of taking down monsters that are extremely big and bad. Kind of like comparing apples to oranges. No, not apples to oranges, apples to concrete blocks of radioactive soup. Another thing is that though some people, including you, might argue that Kratos is a tragic figure, the whole definition of a tragedy is that the character, through one damning flaw, goes to his own downfall. With Kratos, this was kind of set up in the first God of War game, but thanks to sequelitis, because it prints money, they ruin what little tragic tone they have by turning Kratos from this tragic figure into some sort of last-minute happy, the power of hope redemption, which thus defeats the whole point of a tragedy. Even if they did go with this tragic angle and backstory like they were originally going to, Kratos is such an unlikable character that rather than being a relatable human with a damning flaw, comes across more as just this 6-year-old child throwing a temper tantrum that's just acting like an asshole. Especially in the first level tutorial where he purposely pushes a guy down the Hydro's throat, would it have been no inconvenience at all just to let him walk out. I mean, he was holding the keys. While Travis, even though he might be a jerk and can be cocky and arrogant, he still has a fair amount of humanity and is relatable to the audience as much as a horrible person he starts out as. A final point is that your liking of Kratos seems to be more a fact of how when you're playing as him, you taking out your anger by having him slay people in brutally fashions is like therapeutic to you. Not barring the fact that this sounds somewhat disturbing, I would also like to point out that it doesn't seem like so much you enjoy Kratos for his character, since this is a list about favorite characters, but more for his game mechanics. In essence, you seem to see Kratos as more of a tool than an actual human being. And speaking of tools, Kratos having luck with the ladies, I'm sorry, but the women in God of War, for the most part, barring Athena and Kratos' deceased wife, do not act like real women. Travis Touchdown, at least the reason he doesn't have luck with ladies is because the women in that game actually act like real women, not actresses in a porno film like in God of War, which yet another reason that ruins Kratos' character, as he seems to be nothing more but a childish, insolent baby throwing a tantrum, and despite the fact that he has such a mission to get revenge, he always seems to have time for a sex minigame that is totally not played out for to emphasize the point that he's looking for meaning to fill his empty soul, but rather as titillation fest for the immature little 14-year-old teenage players. In short, if you enjoy the epic boss battles of the God of War series, and the fluid, simplistic, if not brutal combat, as well as the Grecian music and atmosphere, and good use of set pieces of making what is in honesty linear level corridors very engaging, then fine, I understand that. But I laugh at you and then pity your sense of taste if you could actually take this character seriously as well. A character. And just to clarify, I'm not fond of Travis Touchdown myself, but compared to Kratos, he is Shakespearean.
Is it over? Yes! Yeah, that may be so, which is why he's only number 8. Plus, he's the cheapest character in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale roster. Thanks for helping me with this segment.
Think nothing of it. I'll be seeing you.
So overall, Kratos is badass and interesting character, and playing as him is very therapeutic. And I ain't thinking video game characters as tools, you got that?
Not good enough, I'm afraid. Oh, such strength! Oh, this is wonderful!
Oh my god, this guy is extremely hilarious and, what's the right word?
Weird.
Oh, thanks, Kowalski. Lord Geodumpier, or as he calls himself, Lebello, is definitely one of the weirdest characters I ever seen. Before Dumpier came to Soul Calibur series, I used to think Voldo as epic weirdo of Soul Calibur series. And then Namco managed to make even weirder character for Broken Destiny. As an con artist, Dumpier can be quite surprising on the battlefield. Whenever he's stomping on people's backs, juggling with people with Russian dance, or tricking people with his silver tongue, he can be forced to be reckoned with. And if you ever see me playing Soul Calibur 5, I'll probably using Dumpier's moveset to take you down. I'm warning you, I can be quite surprising when I play as Dumpier.
It's about time you did some respectable work!
And I didn't do so before this? Oh well.
Not good enough, I'm afraid. I love being purple!
Ah yes, Spyro the Dragon. I always liked dragons. They're strong, mighty fictional reptiles, and it is very good to play as one. And Spyro is very good character not just from being a dragon, no. He's a likable protagonist and he's voiced by Tom Kenny, whose voice talent is awesome! So how on earth I delete Spyro off from this list? Unfortunately, this Spyro isn't on my list. Because the Legend of Spyro incarnation of Spyro is miles better than that. God, I really need to stop using that joke. This incarnation of Spyro has better backstory than the original Spyro. Before Spyro was even born, Guardian Dragon Ignitus rescued Spyro's egg from being destroyed by Dark Master's forces. And he was raised by dragonflies who gave birth to Spyro's wisecracking sidekick, Sparks. When Spyro learned to control fire, he set out to find his home and learn his origins. He met exiled Ignitus, who told him that Spyro is a legendary purple dragon who was foretold to defeat the Dark Master, who is the first purple dragon. Through the Legend of Spyro trilogy, Spyro controls 4 elements: fire, earth, electricity, and my personal favorite element, ice. And in the Eternal Night he can control time. And this incarnation has more heroic personality. Spyro is always willing to give female dragon Cinder to have a chance to live a normal life and to help people, even from situations where he couldn't do anything to save others. But the greatest thing Spyro ever did was to stop the end of the world when it was already shattering. Only small focusing and poof, world is restored. That shows how goddamn strong this young dragon is. Plus, Elijah Wood is Spyro's voice actor. In conclusion, Spyro is strong dragon in many ways imaginable. And why did Activision ruin Spyro utterly? Ah!
Not good enough, I'm afraid.
Now this is what I call a flat pumpkin.
Oh yeah, now we get to very good characters. Conker the Squirrel is so awesome. Anyways, I already talked about Conker's tail on my audition for Waffle's Minion, but I didn't mention the character himself. Conker somewhat reminds me from characters from Happy Tree Friends. He looks like a cute little mammal, but he's far from it. He's alcoholic, sexist, and somewhat a dick of a red squirrel. You know who else is a red squirrel?
The Red Squirrel!
But despite this, he's still willing to help others. And because of this, the ones he helped made Conker as the new king. But he wasn't happy about this since he might have everything he wanted, but he didn't have everything he truly needs. And this makes Conker as one of the most depressing characters I ever seen. And there's nothing else to say about Conker that has been already said. Overall, Conker is hilarious anti-hero in many ways. And since I don't have anything smart to end this segment, I just go a little random.
Not good enough, I'm afraid.
Crash Bandicoot, my all-time favorite video game series. One of the reasons for this is the very colorful cast of characters. Some of my favorites are Ripperoo, Engine, Crunch, Dingodile, Fake Crash, Uka Uka, and Tiny.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to eat your face.
Okay, not the new Tiny. That is so gay. And the only mistake in modern Crash Bandicoot games. But the best Crash Bandicoot character IMO is the series' main antagonist, Dr. Neo Periwinkle Cortex. There are a lot of reasons why I love this character. First of all, he was voiced by my favorite actor, Clancy Brown. Second of all, I always liked his design. And the most notable thing about his design is his large head with big N on his forehead. And the good old doctor has gone through some development over the years. On his early years, he was more of a menacing villain, but nowadays he's more of a comic personality. I hear that some fans are disappointed that Cortex's personality changed a lot when Lex Lang started voicing him. Well, I have a small theory for that. At the end of the Wrath of Cortex, he got stranded in Arctic wasteland with very pissed Uka Uka for 3 years. So let me ask you, what would happen to you if you're stuck in middle of nowhere for 3 years and you're chased by pissed voodoo demigod? You get insane, that's what. In conclusion, Dr. Cortex is very nostalgic and entertaining villain, but the best villain IMO is yet to come.
Not good enough, I'm afraid.
I just have to say this. I really have to say this. I fucking love medieval series. And one of the reasons is the series' main protagonist, Sir Daniel Fortescue. And let me tell ya, he's very nostalgic character for me. When I first saw his grin, that alone made a good impression on me. Sir Daniel Fortescue was a knight in the kingdom of Gallowmere. He was King Peregrine's champion who fell in battle against Zarok's army. People of Gallowmere saw Fortescue as a hero who killed Zarok before he went down. But in reality, Sir Daniel was a cowardly knight who got hit by the very first arrow in the battlefield, while Zarok only gone to exile to master dark magics. After 100 years of Sir Daniel's death, Zarok returned to steal people's souls and raised an army of undead. By accident, Sir Daniel was also resurrected. Fate gave Sir Daniel a chance to redeem himself as a true hero of Gallowmere. So this coward knight set out to kill a bunch of zombies and demons. If you don't count Sir Daniel's personality, he's like Sony version of Link if you ask me. He can handle a big selection of weapons like swords, shields, bows, magic and even firearms. Another thing I want to say is his design of skull. It's very goofy and funny design, and it appears that Sir Daniel has worse dental health than Feraligator or even Crobat. Sir Daniel is also my main character in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. With his slow but effective moveset, he's a very good fighter. Overall, Sir Daniel Fortescue is nostalgic, unique and enjoyable character with large arsenal. Hey Tim Burton, if you're watching, here's a movie that would make ya millions. Make a movie about medieval series, please.
Not good enough, I'm afraid.
This fucking character is without a doubt one of the most original villains in video games. At long last we have a Dr. Nefarious from Ratchet & Clank series. And all of you who has seen all my intros, intro parodies and my mechanical bosses segment, you all expected Dr. Nefarious to be number 1. Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but I was misleading you all along. I never said that Dr. Nefarious is my all-time favorite video game character. I only said him as my favorite video game villain. But let's talk about Dr. Nefarious. Nefarious was bullied by Captain Quark in high school, what motivated him to become an evil scientist. When Quark stopped Nefarious' plans, he accidentally dropped this mad doctor to pile of broken machinery. But Nefarious didn't die on that ball, he reborn as a robotic madman. So he was set out to destroy Quark and other organic life forms, or squishies, as he calls them mockingly. And years after he was defeated once more, he came back with a plan to rule the galaxy by turning everyone into robots. This plan fails because of Ratchet and Clank, and he and his butler, Lawrence, got stuck in an asteroid for a very long time. But I won't spoil what he's up to in a cracking time. Oh, what the hell, hit it, Nefarious!
Under my control, I'll be able to wrong all the rights in the universe. Every villain who has ever stumbled will get a do-over. Every protagonist's triumph will be reversed! Until finally, a new present is created, in which the heroes always lose!
Best speech ever! My mind was blown when I heard that Nefarious is playable character in All for One. And aside from his incredibly ingenious plans, I also like few other things about him. First, his design is very awesome for a villain IMO. Second, his hilarity is very funny. When he gets too stressed, his head goes jammed and it starts to play space opera called Glens and Janice every single time. And other hilarious things about Nefarious are his musical attempts and his angerisms. Nefarious is also considered to be main antagonist of the entire Ratchet & Clank series. After the events of the third game, he made an appearance in every single game in the series one way or another. In conclusion, Dr. Nefarious is original, badass, hilarious and memorable villain, with his ingenious plans and all his funny moments. But can you believe he's only number 2?
I am the great mighty Pooh.
Not that kind of number 2. But if it's not Nefarious in number 1 spot, then what on earth could it be? Let's find out, but first let's see some honorable mentions, voiced by Fawful's Minion!
Dingodile from the Crash Bandicoot series, Ryoichi Cooper from the Sly Cooper series, Shadow the Hedgehog from the Sonic series, and Valdo from the Soul Calibur series. Number 20, the Sniper from Team Fortress 2. Number 19, Wario from the Mario series. Number 18, Spectre from the Ape Escape series. Number 17, Isaac Clarke from the Dead Space series. And number 16, Hugo from the Hugo series.
He knows this will not be his last adventure.
So here we are, at number 1 spot of my top 15 favorite video game characters. For the number 1 character, I have to like his design, gameplay, concept and actions more so than any other. Who is this mysterious character?
I need those powers. The beast is coming. And I will be ready.
Cole McGrath from Infamous series. Surprised? That's good. And you're probably wondering why I chose Cole over Dr. Nefarious. We'll get to it soon, but first let's talk about his design and voice. I mean, just look and listen to him.
Back then, Empire City was in quarantine. It had gone to hell. Other people with power started showing up, and it was my job to sort through it all. To find out who had given me that package, and why.
See what I mean? He reminds me a lot from an actor Jason Statham. Next, his abilities. Cole is a human who has a special conduit gene that allows him to have special powers. And in Cole's case, he has ability to control electricity. And holy crap how many things he can do with his skills. He can glide, heal, drain, shoot different projectiles, ride in insane speeds and send car flying. That's awesome! Finally, his gameplay. In Infamous series, player can decide to use Cole's powers for good or evil. In Good Karma, Cole saves mankind with his electric and cryokinetic abilities. Sure, the gameplay isn't that fun as Good Cole, but at least I can use some ice powers. In Evil Karma, Cole can destroy everything and everyone with electric and pyrokinetic abilities. Oh god, this is so fun to cause destruction all over the place. But the bad part of Evil Karma is that Cole might be a bit power-hungry scumbag. With that I mean that he even kills his best friend Zeke in order to give other conduits a chance to live. And to get himself as the strongest man there is. But it was Cole's story as good guy that got his spot as #1. Cole was a regular bike courier who didn't get respect from his parents. And when a main antagonist of first game Kessler gave him a race sphere to deliver, well, that caused Empire City to blow up while Cole got his powers. And even though Cole didn't want to hurt anyone, he was considered a threat by many. And when Cole got Kessler responsible for killing Cole's girlfriend and some innocent people, Kessler told that world will be destroyed by powerful conduit called the Beast. It's then revealed that Kessler is Cole from future who wanted to prepare Cole in the present day against the Beast. After Cole failed to defeat the Beast, he gone to New Marais to get more powers. And there, everyone was thinking conduits as monsters and Cole was referred as the demon of Empire City. When the Beast got to New Marais and Cole was strong enough to use the device called RFI to defeat the Beast and cure the deadly plague that was caused by Race Sphere's explosion. Cole found out that RFI kills all conduits as well. And even though he wasn't sure if RFI's gonna cure the plague, he was still willing to sacrifice himself to save mankind. And so he did use RFI, and while thousands of conduits died, Cole included, millions was saved from the plague, Zeke included. Let me get this straight. Cole McGrath, a conduit who was thinked as a threat by mankind and was rejected by his own family before getting powers, sacrificed his life to save those who rejected him. That, to me, show how deep character Cole really is. While evil Cole represents humanity's greedy, power-hungry and corrupted side, good Cole represents humanity's righteous good spirit of mankind, both being put on one man's shoulders. And that is why Cole McGrath's my favorite video game character of all time. It's not because of his powers, it's because how much development Sucker Punch gave to him, and not just from his unique powers. Some of you may think this as mimicking Puffle's Minion and We Dude 83, but I truly feel this way about Cole. Yeah, I'm serious, Cole means really much to me as a human being. He showed me what could happen when all important decisions of humanity's survival left on one man's shoulders. And while at it, he's incredibly deep and wonderful character. And that's something that none other character in any media has ever done before. He's original, he's powerful, and very memorable from his actions as Kessler, from his evil deeds and good deeds. I'm in Nifinland, and Cole McGrath is my favorite character in all of media.
I wanted to say goodbye to him alone. He had been my best friend, and now he was gone. Sometimes I hear folks talking about conduits and humans like they're totally different. That's bullshit. Because there ain't nobody with more humanity than Cole McGrath. I love you, brother. And I'm sure gonna miss you.
We all gonna miss you, Cole.
Arthur, father, gentleman.